What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy. Something. Hit the keys. Here today to do a quick review and demonstration over Bloom Vocal Aether by Excite Audio. I'm gonna let you guys know whether this is the arcade killer or not. Make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button. Hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. With no further delay, let's get right into Bloom Vocal Aether, baby. Some, hit the key. All right, guys, so when you open up Bloom Vocal Aether, it is going to look like this. What is Bloom Vocal Aether, you may ask? Well, it is a vocal plugin that allows you to do all kinds of crazy stuff with vocal chops. It's pretty solid. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. The front page, it looks pretty basic, but you can do a lot underneath the hood. You can hit this icon logo right here or icon button in its tooltips. You can turn on or off, and it'll basically tell you what everything does. So right here, we have a warmer, which is saturation. We have speaker, which basically is emulating a speaker, running it through different speakers. You have a doubler right here, and then you have Ethereal, which is like long, dreamy reverbs. As you're looking down here, each one of these triangles is gonna be a different vocal chop. So if I push this down, so each one of these are gonna be different vocal chops. You have different modifiers right here. So we'll go over this a little more here in a moment. And then you have playable modifiers that you can put vocal chops and sequences with, which is pretty solid. You can hit this edit button and then boom, we're gonna hop underneath the hood. And this is where all the magic happens because you get all kinds of different control. You get to do all kinds of different stuff with this. Just super solid. I made a little sample beat using Bloom Vocal Aether, obviously. On this beat, I just basically used the vocal chop on the intro and then for the chorus, and then had the beat go. This isn't mixed down as always, but let's go. All right, guys, so that's a little sample beat that I put together for you guys today. Let's go ahead and hop back into Bloom Vocal Aether and check this thing out a little bit more. So as we see here, one drawback of the plugin is that every time you shut it and open it, it's going to be large like this, but it's a very easy fix. All you have to do is come over here and just drag it and boom, bam, just like that. You know what I'm saying? You can shrink it. So it's a, quick, easy fix. With this thing, it's pretty solid because if you hit this button right here, it's going to bring you to this page, and all of these banks have different vocal chops in them. So as you see here, if I push down on one of these buttons,
feel it. Ooh. Ooh. Hold on.
So it's got a whole bunch of different vocal chops in here. I do believe that they're going to make more expansion packs and stuff like that for this. That's what makes this pretty solid because like with Arcade drops new vocal chops all the time, but they ain't dropped nothing in that vocal library in forever. They've maybe given like 6 banks in like the last 6 months. So this can really corner the market in that area if they hop on that. What's also nice is down here in the corner, you can pick the key of the vocal really easily. So boom, you know what I'm saying? You can make it minor, major, whatever it is that you want to make it. Then we can close it very simply. You can play all this stuff on a keyboard. So I just have my Midi keyboard here and so pretty solid. If you look here at the modifiers on this, so you have, this one is basically halftime, this one is double time. So if I was to push these, actually it'd probably be better with this one right here. So that's what it sounds like before I hit the modifier, but if I hit the modifier, it's gonna sound like this. So you hear how long it took for it to hit that high note. If I do the same thing with the next one, it's gonna make it go faster, so it's gonna be double time. So, you know, that's pretty solid. And then over here, you have more modifiers. So you have, you know, up an octave, down an octave, and pitch. So with those. This one right here is reverse. So like, let's say I hit this right here. Now if I hit this reverse. So pretty solid, pretty solid. And then over here, again, I have like warmer, so I can add saturation to whatever it is that I'm doing. So if I push this button down, solid. Next to that, I have the speaker. I have this doubler over here. And then I have this ethereal right here. So, you know, again, you can start mixing all this stuff together and then you can get that vocal chop to sound different. So that's pretty solid. I'm gonna go ahead and turn all these down for the demonstration. So let's go back here to this page real quick. So what's solid about this page, like let's say I push one of these buttons down, it's gonna tell me exactly what bank it came from. So just pay attention here. So it highlighted this note right here. So again, like just to show you guys for the demonstration, like let's say I move this down. Solid chop. But now that I have it here, it's gonna be in D minor if I push it. And you see it told me it was in this bank right here, which is pretty solid. You can move these banks around pretty easy. You can drop a whole bank in here if you wanted to. So if you liked everything in one bank, you can put that whole bank down here, which is pretty solid. So let's go ahead and go over here to edit. So this is where all the magic happens because you can do super solid stuff. So over here, you can mess with the snap. So again, if I push this down, so I got to go to the right sample. You can edit each individual sample in this thing, which is solid too. Now if I push this, all right, but if I move this over, it's gonna basically start the sample. So you see it didn't start it at the beginning, so you can make it start wherever you want to. What's cool is you have snap. Your snap, you can do grid or you can do transient. So you can change the size of the grid. So if you guys are paying attention, you can see these little nods. The little lines are changing on the grid. It's kind of hard to see. I know. But you can make the grid as big as you want or as small as you want. So you see how it's moving bigger or smaller, or you can put it on transient. And then you can basically come in here and you can dial it in wherever you want to. So I would recommend transient, but you can do whatever it is that you want. You've got fades over here too. And then you have playback. So with playback, like let's say I just tap the button. So you hear how it just stopped really quickly. But if I put it on lash and I push the button real quick, it's gonna play the sample all the way through. So you can put it on whichever one of those that you want. You also have speed here as well, so you can go double, you can go halftime, you can go whatever you want. So you hear how it was going super quick. Over here you have halftime, so it's gonna go half the speed. So that's pretty solid as well. So then as you see over here, we have attack, we have release, you can pan it, you've got volume, you've got a BPM warp, you've got pitch, fine tune, and format. So let's go ahead and turn this format up real quick. So let's go only 12 and see what it sounds like. Or if we go down a little bit, let's see what it sounds like. We'll go down all the way. So it's pretty solid. You get that in the plugin as well. And then obviously, as you can see here, we have pitch, so we can make it go up if we want. So we can get that chipmunk noise that I love so much. I know a lot of you guys hate it, but I absolutely love it. So it's pretty solid, as you guys can tell. Now down here is where it gets super solid because you have this phrase player. And with this phrase player, basically, you see how it says A right here, A, B, C, D, E. Well, basically, that's these modifiers right here. So you see A, B, C, D, E right here. And what we can do with this is we can drop a sample in here. So I can pick any of the 12 samples that are lined up down here, or any of the 14 samples that are lined up down here. So we're gonna go ahead and pick that one. So we'll pick sample 14. And if I was now to push A, and then we can stretch it out as far as we want to. All right, but now how this gets cool is that I can bring this back over here, and now I can add another sample in here. And so it just makes it basically playable. So now if I was to hold down this A, you know what I'm saying? So it's pretty solid. And then you can add as much as you want to. So, you can keep adding more. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this and put it right here, though. And now let's see what it sounds like. All right, and so down here you have global controls over delay, reverb, modulation, and global. If you click this right here, it's going to get you into advanced controls. You can barely see it, but it's over there in the right corner of all of them. I just brought you down here first because we're gonna come back up here, but I just wanted to let you know that these controls right here are gonna control this as well. So let's go ahead and come over here to reverb. Now what we can do is we can draw in a modulation for this reverb. So let's go ahead and do that. And now we can get it to sound like this. So you hear how I only have the reverb playing on the second half, it builds up the reverb. That's pretty cool because you can, you know what I'm saying, obviously get super creative with this. You also have delay as well. So let's go ahead and turn this delay on real quick, and then we can draw a modulation with the delay. So now let's go the opposite way with the delay. But we can go, the other way too as well. And then with this tool, we can change the time of the delay. So let's go ahead and turn this delay up a little bit. Now let's check it out. So that's very solid. Now we're building a vocal chop here. You've got control over different modulations here too as well. So with the modulations, you're going to get chorus, you're going to get vibrato, you're going to get flanger. So we can go ahead and turn this on. We'll just put it on chorus here for a moment. And then let's go ahead and turn the rate up just a little bit. And then let's just exaggerate it a little bit. And we can turn it up too. And then we also have vibrato that we can mess with. Pretty cool. And then we also have flanger. Then we also have other stuff. So let's go ahead and turn on pitch. So we can mess with pitch too as well if we wanted to. And we can put more nodes in here if we want to. So you know what I'm saying? I can put as many nodes as I want to in here, and we can get it to be really funky. I'm not guaranteeing that this is gonna sound the greatest though. It's hilarious. And then you have like high cut and low cut down here. So we can just again turn this on. So, we can do a bunch of cool stuff with that. We're gonna go ahead and turn this pitch off for a second. We also have volume, obviously, all that speaks for itself. So you can mess with that stuff too here as well. Down here at the bottom, we've got global controls. So with the global controls, like let's say I just hit one of these notes. So it sounds a little bit different than it did before. I had all this modulation, this delay and reverb on there. Now once we turn this reverb on there, and we can turn the length up a little bit. Let's turn the mix up on this thing a little bit. So pretty solid. And again, we can turn the delay on too as well. And we do, like I said earlier, we have advanced controls under the hood. So let's just turn this feedback up for a moment. We can turn duck up too. So that's pretty solid because obviously you can hear it ducking it every time I play the note in there. Solid feature. With the reverb, you know, you get duck on this too as well. So that's very solid how it's delaying that reverb too. Super solid. Modulation over here, you get control over the shape and all that other stuff. Let's go ahead and turn this bad boy back on. Let's change up the waveform. You know what I'm saying? So you can do some pretty solid stuff with that. We'll go ahead and shut this off. And then we have a global control over here. So we have control over, we have our filter right here, and then we have tone right here that we can mess with. So let's just turn the tone up for a second. Pretty solid. And then we have our global controls right here. Down here at the bottom, we have this roll the dice button. So we can hit that roll the dice button, and then it's going to change this stuff up for us. So it's basically changing all of the vocal chops that we had up in here. What did it give me right here though? If that don't sound sketchy though, I don't know what does. Not in a bad way, but y'all know. If you know, you know. So this thing is pretty solid. What I didn't mention over here is with this phrase player, you do have steps that you can pick. So you can, you can go up to 16 steps. You got read trigger over here. You can sync it however it is that you want. So you can make it go as fast as you want through the phrase player, and you've got control over swing as well. So that's what I got for the demonstration. I guess what are my final thoughts here on Bloom Vocal Aether? Honestly, guys, I think that this is a very solid vocal plugin. I believe the intro price to this is $40, so that's not bad at all, especially if you consider if you're getting arcade. With arcade, it's $10 a month, so you get for 4 months, you get this plugin forever, which is nice. I love the way that the vocal chops sound. I know it's got I think they say 212 presets. I could be wrong, but I think that's how many that are in there. But again, this thing is really solid because you can do a lot with the effects. You can do a lot when you're setting up the modifiers, and you can make the vocal chops play as you want. I think that that's a very nice feature as well. Overall, I think that, Excite Audio did a pretty good job on this. It's definitely something that I would recommend checking out, especially if you want some vocal chops. I was going to make a house beat. I should have made a house beat because I feel like this would be fire in house beats too as well. But if you're just looking for some kind of chops to put in your beats, whether it's ambient beats, whether it's boom bap, trap, whether it's house, anything like that, without a shadow of a doubt, guys, I would definitely recommend this plugin. So make sure if you guys do like this content, though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Some, hit the key.